Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's the Hi-Fi Brothers.
And today we're going to talk about soundproofing tips for your home theater system.
Let's do this. Well, welcome to today's episode, everybody. We have a pretty quick video we wanted to bring to our viewers out there. Ralph, what problems are we going to address today?
There's three major problems, and the first one is echoing. Another one is reverberation, believe it or not. And then the last one that I want to talk about is background noise.
Yeah, so if you have the larger room, the more you're going to notice these problems.
Yes.
And for a lot of you, you probably do want to cut back on some of those issues, right?
Yes.
So we have some solutions that we want to provide to you all just from our personal experience.
Yes.
And again, I just want a disclaimer here. We're not making money from any of these products that we're going to be promoting. This is just products that we've purchased and we've used. And yeah, we think that they're pretty good, so we wanted to share those with our viewers out there. So, Ralph, let's get into the first product, which is the most common one that we have, which are behind me, and then obviously you have a couple samples here. What are these?
So these are hexagonal acoustic panels, and what they do, bro, is that, like I said, you strategically put them on the wall. Some of them have adhesive on them already, and you just basically take the plastic off and you just adhese it off. Some of them don't have adhesive, and you have to buy the adhesive glue, and you put them on there, and then you just put them on your wall.
You can buy these. They're pretty inexpensive. Yes. About $25. You get a 12-pack of these guys.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And they do, you know, they can cover a pretty significant part of your wall. I think for this pattern behind me, I think I got maybe 3 sets. So about $75-ish or $80 with tax or whatever. That's how much it took to make this kind of this fake wall, or whatever you want to call it. All right, Ralph. Well, not all acoustic panels come in the same shape.
Absolutely.
These are just your standard hexagon pattern. What are some other ones that you have, for example?
So other ones that I have, I will grab it right now. Actually, it's called a bass trap, bro. And this actually goes in the corner of your room. And what this does, it actually reduces the felt bass in the room. So if there is any extra, super bass in your room, it's really bassy, especially in the corners. This will actually help decrease that extra bass in your room and focus more on the listener. That's the purpose of what a bass trap does.
Yeah, and they're a lot, you can see here, they're a lot thicker. They're more of like that foam. The ones that we showed here, these acoustic panels, they're pretty hard.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of squishiness to it. So I would say that from the two, these are probably gonna hold or absorb the sound much better, just because of that, that classic foam.
Yeah.
So if you're really looking to cut the most noise, I would go with something more foam like this, as opposed to the acoustic panels. All right, Ralph. So those are a couple of examples that we want to provide. Is there any other kind of acoustic panels that people could look for?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them. Then you don't have to get hexagonal shape. They actually come in squares, 12 by 12s. There's ones that are actually a lot bigger and a lot thicker and stuff like that. It just depends on the room acoustics. Like I said, if there's too much echo-ness, obviously the thicker the acoustic panel, the more absorbs the sound, and there's less echo-ness in the room. Another thing to consider too, these they reduce a lot of reverberation because it absorbs a lot of the heat when speakers produce the sound, and what it does, it relatively moves, or actually would stow away a lot of that sound away from the wall and towards the listener. So Armando, is there anything that you actually wanted to point out about these acoustic panels?
I would say that these ones particular, what's nice about them is, they don't stick out aesthetically as like the foam panels do, because they're so much thicker. So, if you have like a common space that your home theater, maybe the foam panel isn't the way to go, because they do stick out. So it could make your room look a little unattractive.
Yeah.
But if you have a dedicated home theater system, right, home cinema, then I would say the foam is definitely the way to go. But the acoustic panels, they don't stick out as much. And what's cool about them is you can get them in different colors, like you said, different shapes. They're a lot flatter, so they stick to the wall more, and you can make some cool patterns. So it's kind of like you're making something look nice, but it also has there's a specific functionality for it.
Absolutely.
I see a lot of people put these acoustic panels directly right in front of them, because then it's just absorbing the sound, and you don't get that echo, because our microphones will pick a lot of it up. And you can tell, like in a lot of our older videos, you can hear some of that reverb, you can hear some of that echo, especially when we've done videos here at my place as opposed to yours, because you've always had soundproofing.
Yeah.
So I would say that when we're talking, especially, it's just a lot cleaner.
Yeah, it's a lot cleaner, absolutely.
So, yeah, you could tell there's a significant difference. But you know what, Ralph? I think that concludes our video.
Absolutely. So make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification button.
And as always,
keep it hi-fi.